First question: which of the following statements are correct? Bamboo, uh, though taxonomically a grass, which till recently largely defined as a tree under the Indian Forest Act 1927. So taxonomically it is a grass, but recently legally defined as a tree under the Indian Forest Act 1927. So it is correct. Second, recently the Indian government has promulgated the Indian Forest Ordinance Amendment 2017 to exempt bamboo grown anywhere from definition a tree. It is correct. 3. Before this amendment, the felling of and transit of bamboo grown on forest as well as non-forest area attracted the provisions of the Indian Forest Act 1927. It is wrong. India is the world's largest bamboo producer. It is wrong. Mainly 1 and 2 are correct. So it is taxonomically a grass, but it is come under Indian Forest Act, so it is now forest. 3. Now under it is 3. Indian government promulgated Indian Forest Ordinance 2017 to exempt bamboo grass anywhere from definition of tree. So statement 2 incorrect. Sorry. Yeah. Statement 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. Statement 2 incorrect, as Indian government has promulgated the Indian Forest Amendment Act 2017 to exempt bamboo grown in non-forest areas and not forest areas. Bamboo grown in forest areas do continue to be governed by the provisions of the Indian Forest Act. The definition of tree thereby dispensing with the requirement of felling and transit permit to its economic base. Remember, though taxonomically a grass was legally defined as a tree under the Indian Forest Act 1927. Before this amendment, the felling and transit of the bamboo and forest as well as non-forest land attracted provisions of the Indian Forest Act 1927. This is a major important impediment of bamboo cultivation by farmers on non-forest land. Statement 4 incorrect, as India is the second largest producer of bamboo. Also, so not India is the largest producer, it is the second largest producer. Okay, so major objectives of the amendment is to promote cultivation of bamboo in non-forest area, to achieve twin objectives of increasing income of farmers and also increasing the green cover in the country, especially in the north, east and central India, and it will increase the farmers' income. So encourage farmers and other individuals to take off the plantation and block plantation of suitable bamboo species on degraded land. It is long. Bamboo grows abundantly in trees in areas outside forest with an estimated stock of 20 million tons. About 20 million people are involved in bamboo. 1 ton cultivation, 1 ton bamboo provides 350 man days of employment and enabling environment for the cultivation of bamboo. It helps in creation of job opportunities. Okay, so enhancing all the things, enhancing source of biomass, conserving wildlife habitats, Okay, so the current demand of bamboo in India is estimated 28 million tons, though India has 19% shares of world's area under bamboo cultivation. Its market share in the sector is only 6%. At present, India imports timber and allied products such as pulp, paper, furniture, etc. 2015, India imported about 18.01 million cubic meters of timber and allied products worth 43,000 crore. You can see all the things. Next question: which of the following statements are correct about the zoonosis? Zoonosis. Which of the following are correct? So UNEP, about 60% of all infectious disease in humans are zoonotic or in origin. So 60% of all infectious disease in humans are zoonotic in origin. And second, some of the examples of zoonosis are Ebola, anthrax, and Middle East respiratory syndromes, and certain acute respiratory syndrome, Zika virus. 3. While many zoonoses originate in the wild, livestock often serves as an epidemiological bridge between wildlife and human infections. Climate change is a major factor for zoonosis emergence. So climate change is the major factor, and while the many zoonoses originate in the wild, livestock often serves as an epidemiological bridge between wildlife and human infections. Some of the examples of zoonosis are Ebola, Zika virus, Middle East respiratory, anthrax syndrome. Okay, and here is certain acute respiratory syndrome, Zika virus. Okay. So climate is the major factor of zoonosis emergence. As per UNEP, about 60% of all infectious disease in human are zoonotic in origin. Next question: global partnership of wildlife conservation and crime prevention for sustainable development, or the Global Wildlife Program. Global Wildlife Program is led by which of the following international organization? It is a World Bank's program, led by World Bank, Global Wildlife Program, and Global Partnership of on Wildlife Conservation and Crime Prevention and for Sustainable Development. India has jointly hosted the Global Wildlife Program, the World Bank and UNDP. The program was launched 2nd October. The Global Wildlife Program will address issues related to illegal wildlife trade across 19 countries in Asia, Africa. It will act as platform to exchange knowledge and coordinate on-ground action for combating illegal poaching and wildlife and improve governance on wildlife conservation, also known as the Global Environment Facility. In June 2015, launched the Global Partnership for Wildlife Conservation and Crime Prevention for Sustainable Development. The Global Environment Facility was estimated on the eye of 1990 to Rio Earth Summit, provided to help tackle our planet's most pressing environmental problems. Since then, the Global Environment Facility has provided over USD 17 billion in grants and mobilized an additional 33 billion in finance for more than 4,000 projects in 170 countries. Though GEF is an international partnership of 183 countries, international institutions, civil society organizations, and private sector that address the global environmental issue. 183 countries, international institutions, civil society organizations, private sector address. Which of the following statements are correct in the context of a reject ban on pet coke? Reject ban on pet coke. So one, petroleum coke, the leftover from refining Canadian tar sands and other heavy crude is cheaper and burns hotter than coal. Petroleum coke is a leftover from refining Canadian tar sands and other heavy crude is cheaper and burns hotter than coal. Next, Environmental Protection, Prevention and Control Authority (EPCA) investigation has exposed extremely high sulfur level in these wells ranging from more than 20,000 ppm to 74,000 ppm. Environmental Protection, Prevention and Control Authority (EPCA) investigation has exposed extremely high sulfur level in these wells ranging from more than 20,000 ppm to 74,000 ppm. Apart from high sulfur level, it also has emissions of heavy metal and mercury. So petroleum coke is the leftover of the refining Canadian tar sands and other heavy crude is cheaper and burns hotter than coal. EPACA, Environment Protection Control Authority, investigation has exposed extremely high sulfur level in these fuels ranging from more than 20,000 ppm to 74,000 ppm. Apart from apart from these from high sulfur level, it also has emissions of heavy metals and mercury. For China is the biggest producer of petcoke. No, it is wrong. It is in 4 is incorrect, as USA is the largest producer and exporter of petcoke. China traditionally has been the largest importer, but in India was also catching up fast. The demand for petcoke has increased to such extent. In 2016, India imported 14 million tons of petcoke, which is more than domestic production. The import and domestic production is added, and India has used more petcoke than China when its pollution was at the peak. Today, China has stopped imports of petcoke, but India has become a dumping ground of petcoke from US, which has banned to intentional use because of pollution. The concentration of substances such as toxic, chemical, and various tissues of a living organism is called as a bioaccumulation. The concentration of a substances such as toxic chemicals in various tissues of a living organism is called a bioaccumulation. The concentration of substances such as toxic chemicals in various tissues of a living organism is called bioaccumulation. So bioaccumulation is accumulation of all concentration of a substances such as toxic chemicals in various tissues of a living organisms. The accumulation takes place within an organism when the rate of intake of a substance is greater than the rate of excretion or metabolic transformation of that substance. Also known as biomagnification is the increasing concentration of a substance such as a toxic chemicals and tissues of organisms at successively higher than hard levels in food chain. As a result of biomagnification, organisms at the top food chain generally suffer greater harm from a persistent toxin or pollutants than these at lowest level. Persistent organic pollutants are the chemical substances then remain in the environment and transported over large distance by accumulation through the food web and pose a risk, and risk of causing adverse effect to the environment and human health. PAPS includes pesticides like DDT, etc. Eutrophication is, or more precisely, Trophication is a enrichment of a water body with nutrients, with an usually with an excess amount of nutrients. This process induces growth of plants and algae, and due to biomass load, the result in oxygen depletion of the water body. Thank you. Please remember, it is mainly bioaccumulation, concentration of substances such as toxic chemical and various tissue of a living organism. So you can see it takes place within the organisms when the rate of intake of a substance is greater, and then the rate of excretion and metabolic transformation at the substance.